It's all
Doesn't matter.
welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Good to see you, Sam.
You too, my friend.
Hello again from the Eagles podcast, Eagles Nest podcast.
Caw-caw.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you, each and every one of you.
Everyone here.
Well, except one. And you know who you are.
You know who you are. Have you found Hugo's page yet? I don't think so.
It's out there.
It's out there.
Today we're going to
Standards.
talk about standards.
Yeah,
and I think, do you know what? I think this is a nice follow-on. So obviously we talked about strength
Yeah.
last week, and standards is, there might be a little bit of crossover between this and our kind of the goals and accountability one that we did a little while ago.
Yep.
Episode 9, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Go back and check that one out.
Yeah.
But I think standards is a really important topic just
In life.
in life in general,
totally
let alone
agree.
martial arts and fitness and whatnot.
Your own goals and all that, which, like I said, lines up from, number 9 was
Number 9.
was out there. Yeah, standards is such an important thing, isn't it? And it's so like, and it's funny because it's like, it's really subjective,
Yes.
but at the same time, depending on what standard you're trying to keep,
Yep.
it's not subjective. So, you know what I mean? Like,
That is very true.
you know, the measuring stick, like a good example, obviously we talk about on this podcast, is martial arts a lot.
Yep.
You and I have a pretty equivalent standard
Yes.
of what we think is good martial arts and what we think is bad martial arts.
Correct.
But then I reckon if we had those people on and chatted to those people with what we would consider as a lesser standard of martial art, I think you might find that they think, oh, but I'm doing fine. And so, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean.
do you
Like,
know-
it's
but-
subjective to each person, but at the same time, it's not.
And I think there's a lot to be said for your level of self-awareness with
Yeah,
standards.
totally.
Like, you know a lot, but you also know what you don't know, which makes you like that always a
Well,
white belt.
a really good example of that that's current for me right now is sword.
Yes.
So we've been training, we're training in kumye and sword, and we've been doing it for we've been doing it consistently for probably 6 months.
Yep.
We've been it's been in the background for over a year, but we really were very inconsistent with the training.
Yes.
And once we started going, hey, we got to get on this. We got to let's get the training down properly. We've been training about 6-ish months, give or take, and we were like, and so feeling and like we're learning, this system of stuff we're learning. We're learning, what's it called? Vicariously, not vicariously. Online, like we're doing,
I'm trying to think of the word.
I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word.
We're learning here, and
Yeah.
someone else is
It's
over there,
yeah, correct.
and the material gets
Yeah,
transmitted
correct. So what's
via
the
the
I can't think
interwebs.
of the word for that. My brain's tired. Anyway, so look, essentially we're learning, via watching videos and doing the things that the instructional stuff that we've been sent by our teachers and stuff, and then we had our first checkpoint. So, Master Steve came down from Sydney to give us a
Yes.
hand and go through some stuff and check where everything's at. And it was really funny that until that moment, because it's, and this is that, this goes really well with standards actually, because you got all the information like Gracie University Online and
Oh, yeah.
which is huge, huge and popular and lots of online learning. But for me, I've always been a big advocate of online learning, but you need to have face-to-face checkpoints
Yep,
with people
absolutely.
to make sure you're understanding it,
Yep.
right? And the standards of where we thought we were, of how we felt about it.
Okay,
Hey,
yeah.
this feels good. We're
Yep,
doing
yep.
good. And we got our check with our one of the instructors, and he came over and he's like, "Yeah, you guys are doing really well." But we realized as we went through it. So what he did is he sort of just called everything that we've been doing.
Yep.
And then he went, "Cool, let's go through all the notes." And he just took notes the whole time, right? Didn't say nothing. Then notes at the end. And we were like, "Cool." Then we went back and went, this is good, shit. This is good, shit. Now, obviously, he didn't say it like that, but it was the amount of like stuff that we had it's just not on the video, like the smaller details that are just not on the learning.
Yep.
And you need someone to go, hey, this is how you do this
Yeah.
to make it easier. And I realized I was working so much harder than I had to try and do these things. And with those small tweaks, I'm like, oh my God, that's so much easier.
Makes sense.
And so, but the standards of like, I thought I was at a standard of like doing all right with it. Then I realized, and this also goes back to before we started this, is like I'd been doing sword because we had some basic sword stuff within Hapkido over the years.
A lot of years, yeah.
Which was like, okay, I think I know a bit about sword. And then I realized, I'm like, cool, I actually get we start a system and start learning from teachers who are just full-time sword people.
Yep.
And I realized, I don't know anything. I know A, B, and C in the alphabet of sword.
Yes.
And I haven't even got close to D, not even, and I probably thought I was up closer to the end of J or K. I kind of thought I was along
a little bit further along than you
and
are.
I was just like, oh, no. Do you know what? I'll go back one more. I'm probably at B. I'm probably at B. I know A and B. And I'm still learning C and the rest.
But do you know what's great about that?
Yeah.
Is
Great feeling.
It's a
wonderful feeling.
Okay, and so that is I think that's a really key difference when we talk about standards between. It's like because I think we're quite similar in our own internal standards that we hold ourselves to. That and then someone who maybe doesn't have quite the same level of standards. It's
keep going. You know who you are.
It's that ability to put your ego and everything to the side and take a step back and actually go
Fairfield.
we say no more.
I coughed. I don't know what you mean.
There's and this is fitness and martial arts are probably the two worst fields in the universe, not just on Earth. I'm talking
all you known universes, future, present, and past.
Anything we discover in the future, they're going to look at martial arts and go,
"Look at these monkeys."
The fuck. Having the ability to actually take a step back and go,
But especially because martial arts in particular and fitness to some degree, fitness probably less so than martial arts, but they're so unregulated.
Yeah.
Like they're just unregulated fields, right? Like you can just have every fucker in the world with, hey, buy my fitness course because
Also, and this is the
do
shit.
these 10 exercises and you can do these 5 exercises. Do these 5 exercises and you'll win lotto. Trust me, I'm a fitness influencer.
So the one of the best and worst things about fitness is the access to information.
Yeah.
And the access to information.
Correct.
But all it takes, there was the trend of, if you have a great before and after transformation, people will buy your course.
Yeah, totally.
So all you have to do as a fitness person is get yourself
take Ozempic. No,
anyway.
don't do that.
All you have to do is get yourself in shape, and that could include taking whatever you want to take to get yourself in shape. It's up to you. And then people go, oh wow, you're in really good shape. You must know what you're doing. And that applies to martial arts as well, where people go, I can see you doing whatever it is. You must know what you're doing. So I'm going to buy into and martial arts is very cultish.
Oh yeah, super cultish.
Hugely cultish. That's actually a great.
We'll do an episode on the cultiness of martial arts. Yeah, for sure.
And that cultiness. It's also. There's a lot of other stuff in martial arts which rhymes with that too. But so I think it's really difficult for a lot of people to take a step back and go, oh, hang on, why am I not able to do what I do? And I personally think, unpopular opinion, that most people are lying to themselves about what they're doing and versus what they're capable of, and maybe the hard work that is required to kind of bridge the two of those.
I think it's really, really easy to fall into the trap of telling yourself you're doing the work because you want the accolades and the appreciation, and especially when you've got good people around you.
Yeah.
Like if you've got if you've got people around you that are doing similar things, and you want that like affirmation of like, hey man, good job, keep going.
You want the attaboys.
You want the attaboys, yeah. You want all the pats on the back and stuff. Yep. It's really easy. Like, yeah, man, I worked really hard this week, and that, like, if a lot of your friends will just be like, hey, man, for good job, like pats on the back, or high five, smash it, pound it, like, good job. But then it's like, at some point, your friends are either going to see the results of that continuous hard work, and maybe you did 1 good week of hard work, but then maybe you had 3 weeks of shit work.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm guilty of this. I'm totally guilty of this over the years, in particular. Less so in the last 8 months.
Yep.
But prior to that, working hard, doing whatever. Working hard, really? Were you working hard?
Are you actually?
And I'm talking in regard to fitness. I've been working my ass off. I just mean fitness-wise and things like because gym was so difficult for me to to really want to enjoy and really like commit to.
Yep.
And like especially like the weights and stuff, which we've talked about on plenty of episodes before. But
last week, you haven't listened
last
to
week,
it, check it out.
and it's come up a few times. But yeah, I think it's really really easy for people to go, you know, this is so that standard. Like, you know, there's those people that are capable of just going, it's 4:20 in the morning and I'm getting up and I'm, you know, and away we go.
Yeah, and I should say, look, at the risk of actually, whatever the rest. I'm not going to say anything controversial here, but I don't think when we talk standards, I don't mean you don't have to be getting up at 4:30, doing knuckle push-ups in a cold shower after you sauna, and then taking a cold plunge and a barefoot run through the woods before you walk into the snow. Whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be this David Goggins, Jocko, like Joe Rogan eating elk meat off a wooden cutting board.
I mean, if that's your thing and it makes you happy, you can send it.
I know, yeah, send it. But I'm like, it
like,
doesn't.
Go for it, but yeah, it doesn't.
Just because it's
that's the 1%ers of the 1%ers of the 1%ers that.
It might. It's, but it also might be that's just what works for them.
Yeah, sure.
Other people, I know a lot of successful people who get up at 8 a.m., have a coffee, sit down at their desk and do work, or do like whatever your. But I think the standards comes back to overall exposure. And I was just talking to Xander here, and
hey, Xander.
When we talk about standards, that the very first time, I've spoken about this story before, the very first time I walked into Eagle Martial Arts in 2002, it was a young and virile Alex and Scott just going at...
We're ever so much more than 20 now. Everything hurts.
This was like 19-year-old or 20-year-old Alex and Scott, 2002, 20. Going at like 90%, and just this. And I
probably weren't even going 90 then.
No, you probably weren't.
Like
but whatever it was,
I know what you mean.
It looked like I walked into a movie set, and I remember that feeling of, holy shit! Like, that standard is so high, and so immediately my expectations are set with that's the standard. Had I walked, and I'd trained at plenty of other schools up until that point, but had I walked into a different, or maybe I didn't know as much, and I walk into a school and the standard, instead of being up here, is down here, and I go, oh, that's the standard, then my perception is set at, well, that's good. Yeah. This is where I need to aim.
Correct.
Instead of, I need to aim up here, and I'll forever feel not good enough because, because you guys are too good. So you're like, but jokes aside, there's a difference in how your awareness and how you set your own standard, because based on what you're exposed to. Like, if you've never seen the thing, how do you know? Now, again, we've talked about this before. We live in the world where there's so much information at your fingertips.
Correct.
You can do a bit of research and you can kind of see.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is based on your circle and what you're exposed to.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny, isn't it? Because like forever, you know, like even as a young martial artist, I knew I liked to kick. I knew that I enjoyed doing spinning kicks and jumping, and it was something that I could kind of like just physically, my body understood how to like spin.
Yeah.
I'm also built short with like big legs and a big booty, so there's a lot of gravity just whipping me around. But but so even when I was doing you know, like traditional kung fu stuff, and like the forms, I love all the forms I really like to do. All involved low spinning kicks or turning spinning kicks or anything that was spinny. I was like, this is fun as shit.
This is
like,
awesome.
And that's kind of translated right through my martial arts stuff. Is like anything rotational, spinny throws, spinny kicks, big jumping stuff. Like the really pretty shit. I was like, I really enjoyed doing.
Yes.
Because I could kind of pick it up.
Yep.
And so, but then I wouldn't say that I think there was a few people in the early days of like Hapkido that were, I would say, like when I walked in, that I was like, oh, you're a better kicker than me. Because I wasn't a good kicker then, but I could, you know, I was semi-flexible, and imitating a kick was not difficult.
Yes.
Whereas some people really struggle, like flexibility, some people just really struggle to get those things down. And like, the Bo was a really decent kicker. There was a guy named Brent who was like a high level taekwondo guy who was incredible. Angus was amazing. You know, and then there was a few guys that I was like, that's the standard of kicking.
Yes.
Then everyone else, as far as I was concerned, regardless of belt, I was like, yeah, you're okay, but you're not even close to them.
Yes.
And that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
And then I met Scott. And like,
And then I met Scott.
and then I met Scott, and like,
oh,
and it was like, and then like training so heavily with Scott, and I was like, oh, that's the standard, right?
Yes.
Like that's where I've got to try and get to. And so even, and we've talked about this a few times, in like controversial statement coming up, which we've said before, is I watch, like when you watch the movies, it's very rare that I see anyone online that I watched that will, especially in the early days, less so now because there's so many more people putting stuff up online, right?
Yep.
But I very rarely am impressed by kicking. I'm very like, oh yeah, you are not a bad kick, and that's the baseline expectation.
But that's kind of
this is the baseline expectation of doing a turning back kick or a
Yes.
jumping turning heel kick or something,
Yes.
right? And then you've got the Scott Atkins and just all the Donnies and all the guys that are just really good, right?
elite.
The elite kickers. And then recently, I think Ibrahim Moreland, who's a young
the Hapkido.
young taekwondo and hapkido
Yes.
guy training under Grandmaster Shelton Moreland. God, I hope I got his name right then.
We will actually pop a link up.
I will pop him. They're based.
He's incredible.
And I've been sending you his stuff because watching it, he's a
Yes.
young man that's training under his father, who's a really high level grandmaster in hapkido and taekwondo in Atlanta, in America. And I love watching that guy kick because I watch him and he is like that. He's young. I'm really sorry, I don't know his exact age, but he's got to be in his early 20s.
Yep.
And maybe mid 20s, but he's and the grace in which he can throw kicks is phenomenal, and it's so good to watch. And so it's great to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the controversial take thing is like the standards of those sort of things. I watch and I go, look, Chuck Norris, love Chuck, huge fan, pushes the world away, all the movies, all the tough guy stuff, and was a legit fighter. Was a legit world champion.
Yep.
Was great. But like when I watch Chuck kick, I go, like you're just not the baseline. Now the practical side of it, top notch. Top notch. He's going to beat the crap out of a lot of people.
But I get it.
But I get it, and I watch him do like if you really go and watch Bruce Lee and Chuck fight in the Way of the Dragon. Yeah, Way of Dragon. Pretty sure it's Way of Dragon. We do this every time. We do this every time.
I think it's Way.
Pretty sure it's Way of Dragon. The Coliseum fight and the whole thing.
Yep.
Man, look, the movie side of it is fantastic. It's good fun.
I don't know.
Oh man, the grab of the hair and the blow is fantastically hilarious. All that stuff is great.
I feel like it's a parody at that point.
But that's my point though, is you watch the actual standards of the way that like Chuck kicks in that, and I'm like, man, you're not that good at it.
Yeah.
Like in those moments. I'm not saying he's not. Don't kill me, internet. I love Chuck. I think he's phenomenal.
Fucked. I mean, I'm sorry.
I'm okay with it. Look, all respect to Chuck. Chuck is phenomenal, and he will have the lasting legacy that he deserves.
Yes.
As a martial artist, as an awesome human.
Yep.
Man, he do jiu-jitsu. I believe he's a 5th degree?
Yeah.
5th degree? 4th degree?
4th, 5th.
4th or 5th degree black belt jiu-jitsu.
It's up there.
Then the man is a legendary martial artist. I'm not taking that away at all, but I just mean the standards of kicking was different. So whenever I watch stuff, and even like I said, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Bruce was not as good a kicker as everyone thought he was. When you watch him, he just wasn't. He got better after he met Jihan Jay, rest in peace, Jihan Jay. He passed away yesterday. For those of you who don't know, but yeah.
Actually, and they just watch our Hapkido episode to learn more about Jihan Jay.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
Massive influence. On Hapkido.
But also, when Bruce met Jihan Jay, realized, oh, that's what actual kicking looks like.
Yes.
We talked about that before. So, but anyway. That's what I'm saying. Like the standards of those sorts of things is like there's there's elite and then there's everyone else. And so like
yes.
And I'm not elite. Let me be really clear. I'm not an elite kicker, but I think my standards of kicking are higher than the average of stuff that's there. But that's because like you fucking train with Scott and try not to have. But and try and keep up with that guy. But
it is. I think a lot of it does come down to exposure.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Which we have talked about recently with a lot of friends of ours. Is like you just don't know what you don't know until you see.
And and again, it does take a lot for and especially you take martial arts in general. We talk about this with schools that shall remain nameless. The standard, there's a refusal for people to look like take a cold hard look in the mirror and go, oh, maybe I don't know as much as I'm purporting to know, or that I think I know, and what do I actually stand for?
Yeah, totally.
And probably the one of the biggest things for me is I forget where I first heard this, but it was a guy talking about standards, and it was basically like he basically said, decide your ethics before you go out into the world. And it was kind of from a sense of decide what your standard will be.
And keep it.
And then so when you do something, you don't have to get to a point, a decision and go, all right, I've come across this situation. Now I need to decide what to do. You've already decided what your standards are, and then you proceed accordingly. If you're not a great kicker, you go, well, that's something I just need to work on.
Correct.
And you keep that as your standard. And two things can be true at the same time. 100%. You can be a shitty kicker, but you can really want to improve. So you can kind of go, oh, I accept that this is where I am now.
Yeah.
But I'm desperate. I really want to improve, so I'm going to work hard. You don't have to go, oh, I'm shit, therefore I'll always be shit and the world's going to be horrible to 100%. Me. You can just go, hey, I accept where I'm at now, but I want to work hard and get better. And I think deciding what your standard is going to be, like if you start a martial art or you start a fitness journey, you decide, I'm not going to settle for mediocrity, whatever that looks like to you. Like it's that joke at the moment. It's not all white women, but it's always white women.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting that.
Trying to avoid working hard in the gym.
That's our last episode. Thanks, guys.
But you see, it's the, whatever the latest fitness craze is, it's like the bungee cords where they're swinging up in the air or they're hitting the...
No lie, that looks fun as fuck though. Like I gotta say, it looks fun, but you're not getting a workout.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
It's just band assisted work for people who can't jump. Like it's
like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's
bungee jumping for pussies.
It's like, I really want to go bungee jumping, but I don't like heights.
I don't like heights. Oh my God, we're gonna make a whole bunch of white women angry. No, we won't, because they're not going to watch this anyway.
No. We're not there. Well, they're not our
target
market.
Tag them.
But it's deciding. It's deciding what you're prepared to accept, and I don't think a lot of people have had an honest conversation with themselves about what they're prepared to accept in their life.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like I think standards. This is just. It isn't something that is limited to. Fitness and martial arts and all that stuff, and it is like exactly what you said. It's like how you choose to act, hold yourself, treat other people.
Yep.
All of those aspects of your life speak volumes to the standards you hold yourself to.
Yeah, and do you know what? It actually is and I'm quoting Richard Norton again.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He's like a true martial artist in every sense of the word.
100%.
And one of the maybe in the modern kind of era, a forgotten element of martial arts is just the way you conduct yourself as a martial artist. It's like a through line of your entire life. So it's you get out of bed, and it's the way you interact with the world on a daily basis, and then the way you show up to train, and the way you treat and respect other people, and to go about your life. But I also like. I'm pretty sure it was Joe Rogan who speaks about he went through a phase pretending that there's a documentary crew following him around.
Everything was recorded.
And so it's like what the stuff that you do when no one's watching.
Yeah.
Are you cutting corners? Are you taking the easy way out? Yep. Are you when the instructor turns their back, are you doing one less push up than you meant? Because all you fuckers. You know who? Sorry, this is up there with my car mirrors.
Preach.
As far as it pisses me off. If we're in a circle or in lines and you got to do 10, 10, and 10 push-ups, squats, and sit-ups, you know who you are. If you're doing 8, 7, and 4,
Charlotte.
I mean, you're not fooling anyone.
I'm kidding, Charlotte. You're all right.
You. Just do the 10, 10, and 10. Even if you finish after people, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're doing all of them.
Only cheating yourself.
You are only... and we know that you're cheating.
Yeah.
It's clearly evident.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, it's been on my mind for a while.
Yeah, it's all right. Preach. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I can't stand it when I'm in class, I'm doing something. I'm like, all right, guys, go do this thing. And I want you to go deep on it and practice the technical side of the thing and whatever. I look over at someone just going... Cool, I've done 5, Yeah. And I'm like, do 50. Like,
Just keep
going.
Keep doing the thing.
Keep doing the thing. Yeah. More reps is never going to hurt you in this situation.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Anyway.
But we should, and I should say, like, we're speaking from a perspective of we're not perfect. Well,
no, not at all.
We're definitely not perfect, but it's this whole ideal of showing up with a standard in mind, with an intentional kind of output, and 100%. Saying, all right, I'm here to do this, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And there's some days where it won't happen. Yeah. Where you show up and you kind of go through the motions because you've had a rough day. Yeah. But
they happen. But make them less.
Yeah, they should be like the exception, not the rule.
Correct, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, it's really easy to just, have those days and be like, and then just, if that, all of a sudden it's really quick, it's a slippery slope making that the standard.
That day turns into a week.
And do you know what?
I'm as guilty of this as anyone where I'll have an off day, or I get 3 hours of sleep. Thanks, Hunter.
Cameron tie.
I was tight, so tight.
So tight.
Needed a nap. And your day just goes
to
shit because it's your brain doesn't function properly and everything's just infinitely harder. But then it's not eliminating those days altogether because they're always going to happen. It's how quickly you go from that back to your standard, the standard that you've set yourself, and not let it drift and go, well, I guess, I'll start Monday. So today's Friday. No, look, we'll just, I'll see you at the weekend and then I'll start Monday. And then Monday rolls around, you're like, yeah, I didn't have a good night's sleep last night. I'll start tomorrow. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's Friday and you're like, do you know what? I'll start Monday. And all of a sudden it's been a year.
When I'm injured, like if I'm injured, like I'm currently, going through injury recovery and all those sort of things, I am hugely guilty of this. Hugely guilty of going, this happened and this is here and now I'm going to do this. Now, when it comes to martial arts training, not even close. I'll just turn up. Up. I'll even sit on the mat. I'll watch. I just want to be part of it. Because I FOMO and I want to be involved. That side of things, I'm good. I'm solid. But when it comes to pushing weights, when it comes to doing the work that no one sees, is so easy to just be like, oh yeah, but this is so tomorrow is when I
I'll do it tomorrow. And I'm just gonna rest today.
Yeah, correct. And like I said, sometimes the rest is valid. Sometimes you always rest is as important as doing the work. But it's are you resting or are you being lazy? Yes. Are you making excuses to do the thing? Well, okay, my leg's not working super great. Great, go there and just sit on a machine and do arms.
The rest of your body
do the rest of the body.
Are your arms
doesn't have to do anything else. But do you know what I mean? But it's so easy to fall into.
And do you know one of the big things I know for me personally is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when you set a standard, and a lot of it I think I'm not a psychologist, don't purport to be one, but a lot of it comes down to your ability to trust yourself. Yeah. So if you set yourself a goal and you constantly break that goal, you don't trust your own ability to get shit done. You set yourself a goal or a standard and you meet that standard. And it could just be basic shit. And you meet that and meet that and meet that. And all of a sudden your brain's like, hang on, we're actually capable of doing this thing. And then you go, oh, that standard +1. And then you're meeting that. And that +1.
This feeds right back into goal setting, which we talked about like the week before, right? Like all of that. That's exactly the plan, right? And that's exactly the thing. And it's those sort of things. It's like, hey, if you're like, I need to do this, and I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning when the alarm goes, like, get the fuck up.
Get the fuck up.
Like, stop hitting snooze.
Yeah.
Like, get up. Because all of a sudden it gets easier. It just gets easier to do. And all of a sudden now that's not a thing I have to think about. You just get up.
If it's a new standard, it's not going to be comfortable the first few times you do it.
You've got to go. But it's not a choice. Yeah. I am a person that goes to the gym. And you know what? That was something that you have said to me for a while. It was one of those big things of like I think this was in that first initial period when you were trying to get me to start lifting consistently. And you were like, don't think of it like this just is who you are now. You've got to think of it like
what you do.
And it was, and that actually, as silly as it kind of sounds, it helped heaps. And then it was also, I think that my partner was the same sort of thing. We got to a point with It's not an optional thing. This is who I am.
Just what you do.
And it made a big difference. It's like, this is just what we do.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, the more you do it, the easier it gets. But it is about that.
And then it feels weird when you're not doing it.
Yeah, it feels like a part of you is missing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, something's off.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But standards I think is a broadly more difficult, because everyone's like, goal setting. No, again, it's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. Like I should say, it's not complicated, but it's a fairly straightforward thing to do. Goal setting, keeping the goal, entirely different conversation altogether. But standards, how do you know what is a good standard?
That's true. That is hard. It's hard. So that's the thing, though. But I think that comes back to like saying finding the people around you, like. When you do, like, you just don't know what you don't know, right?
Yep.
But there is enough information out there. There's enough ability to be able to look at things broadly and kind of go, oh, that looks like about what it should look like. You know, like if you're making a cake and you're, pardon me, sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. If you're making a cake and you've never made a cake before, how do you know what the cake's supposed to look like? You have a look online and you see what people look and how many people go, you get to the end of making your cake, you go, my cake doesn't look anything like that.
What happened?
Like, what happened here? And so then you work at it to make it better, right?
Yep.
Until you meet the standard that you can see others are setting, or others are doing. But there is a bit of a veil on that, because it's like, especially with martial arts, like I said, you walk in, and as we've talked about this before, it's like you walk in and go, and that person goes, this is how you do a side kick. And you go, oh, great. That's what a side kick looks like. Until you see someone else do actual side kicks and go, that's what a side kick is. Oh shit, okay. Maybe I need to raise the bar.
Yep.
And but I think that's that's almost like another whole thing, right?
Well, see,
is that standard still, or is that?
I think it is standard. I think, and I've been fortunate enough throughout my entire life to have exposure to higher levels of standard, and that went through basketball, music. Like I know some people who've gone on to be professional musicians and who are high level athletes, and you get to see.
Cameron knows Michael Jordan.
We go way back.
Way back.
Way back.
Him
Way
and
back.
MJ.
Just like it's like this. But you see when you see a standard. But actually, question for you. So this is actually probably the bigger part of it for me now that I think about it. We're not living in some alternate reality here. So we see someone.
We're not?
We might be sometimes. We might be.
Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
Cameron's in his own world. But we're seeing the same shit as everyone else.
Sure.
So what is the difference? The question without notice. What is the difference when I see someone who's an elite athlete or an elite performer? It could be any field. Yeah. Mathematics, you know, whatever. And I go, holy shit, that person's incredible. They are light years better than me at their chosen field, and whatever the case.
Yeah.
How do I then recognize that standard and acknowledge that there's levels to this shit, and that if I want to learn to do something of what they're doing, it's going to take years and years and years of study and practice. When other people, I'm assuming they're not blind. Like, you know, if you study martial arts and you go to a McDojo, a school that's, let's say, it's horrible, but you go and watch a Jackie Chan movie, or you watch a Donnie Yen, and you see a side kick, or you see a kick, how do they not go, hang on, is there an internal compass off? Do they not understand what they're seeing? What is the difference in how they perceive the world? Or are they just then going, do you know what? They're just lying to themselves.
Oof. I think there's a lot in that to unpack.
Well,
you asked about 8,000 things.
So maybe to simplify it, do they have a lack of ability to recognize a higher standard, or is it I'm just going to pull the wool back over my eyes so that I don't have to deal with that particular reality?
I would say there's a couple of things, and then there's just my opinion, but I think there's a couple of things within that, especially within the martial arts sphere, like space, right? You've got that whole I'm the teacher, you're the student relationship in martial arts in general. But I'm a huge believer, like, And I always want my students to question me
Yeah.
at all times. If you don't think something's correct or you're not sure why, you don't understand, ask me.
Yeah.
And I'm very open with that. I'm pretty sure we've got a decent culture in both Hapkido and in Jiu-Jitsu here where you're like, you can ask us anything.
Look, you might get hit with a stick, but you're free to ask a question.
Oh, the old days, how I miss them sometimes. No, but I just ask me
Stupid fucking
questions. That's it. What did the hand say to the face? Now, don't get me wrong. Like there are, like, you know, of course there's stupid questions out there, but there are no stupid questions in regards to what you know and what you don't know.
Yep.
So I think if you, what I was getting at is, there are a lot of teachers out there, or a lot of schools, or a lot of people out there who are teaching martial arts that build this wall around them of they cannot be questioned.
Yep.
Because they are above questioning, because they are a master. I use that term fucking loosely as fuck. Right? I get, like, you know, people like master. I'm not a fucking master. Don't call me a master. I don't ever want to be called a master in the things that I'm doing. I'm a teacher. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
You know, even coach. I'm not a professor. I never went to uni. You know, it's the Brazilian culture of professor.
Yes.
And it's fine.
Yep.
Anyway, but I'm just Alex, and it's fine. There are little things of respect and stuff like that, and sir and coach and all that, and that's fine. But it's not a requirement.
Yep.
That's a thing. So I think in the martial arts spaces, if you're training with someone, and it can be really difficult as a student to go up to your teacher and be like, I don't understand why am I not kicking like this?
Yep.
Or throwing like this, or punching like this, or whatever that standard is, right? Because essentially what you're asking is, why am I not better?
Yeah.
Right? Now, you're either putting that on you or you're putting it on the teacher. Now, at the end of the day, I think it's your standards should be your own, but I think those standards as a teacher need to be passed to your students.
Yes.
So I expect, as a teacher, the best that I believe that particular student is capable of. So I expect the highest possible standard of what that person's physically, mentally capable of doing, performing.
Yeah.
And I push a lot of my students, and so I can see some of them get frustrated. I'm like, I get that you're frustrated, you're not getting the move down. We will get there, but you've got to keep going, because I'm not going to accept that, because I know you're capable of more.
Yes.
And then there are other students that I'm like, this is where you're physically at, and that's the best you can do in this moment. Are they going to be capable of more later? Yes.
Sure.
But right now, that's where they're at. And so, you know, whatever that is, whether that's punching, kicking, grappling, whatever. So I think that in the martial arts space is part of that reason of not questioning, or not, you might see something somewhere else. And then that's where I think schools should lose students, in the sense that if you can't walk up to your martial arts coach, teacher, professor, guru, whatever, and ask earnest questions about technique and about how to improve, and they give you answers like, just train more and you'll get there. But that's the only answer. Like, I mean, that's still true. Like, that's, hey, train more, you're going to get better. But that is if you're getting instruction to improve.
The correct instruction, yeah.
Because if your technique is shit and you just train more shit technique, you're not going to get better.
But if you sign up to our 4-year multi-plan deal.
Right. Multi-plan deal. Yeah, exactly right. And now, like, don't get me wrong. Like, if we run a business here, we need to be able to make money to survive and live, and so I can keep teaching and do stuff. But that's not the if it's about we've talked about this before. If it's about the money, then it's not.
I know. Like, I think there's a value proposition there.
Yeah, so absolutely. If you're getting value out of what you're getting from
you have to pay in order to get value. Well, nothing's free.
Correct. Yeah.
And in order to obviously, you're able to do this as a profession, and that makes you better because you're then full time focused on this.
Yeah, it makes you
and
guys
the
get
people
more
who
things.
come to you for instruction. Are going to get better value out
correct.
of it.
Any of the really good martial artists out there that are running great schools are charging money for it because they're running great schools.
That's it. Now, so on that though, at what point does the onus get passed onto the student in this case? Because to frame that question, I would say if you're 15 years old and your parents drop you off at the class and you go in and you do your thing, I can understand there would be a reluctance to question the authority of a teacher.
1000%.
if you're a 25 or a 35-year-old,
Yeah.
unless you have really bought into the cult of what is going on, and maybe that's it, but surely there's, as an adult, you have a sense of, what am I doing here? Why am I?
You're 100% right. But I would say, think of all these bloody people that sign up to that fucking yellow bamboo bullshit, right? Like, if you haven't looked at that, let's pop a link into that. We'll just timestamp ourselves for a link for yellow bamboo. If you haven't seen the yellow bamboo bullshit, this is all the no touch, chi controlling, fight, I can knock people out, no touch knockout bullshit, which it absolutely is bullshit. So, but those people, right?
Yeah, do you know what? No, you're not.
When you think about standards, how do you not look at that shit and go, at a certain point it's on you, right? But at the same time, but I think people like that in those cases, and I think this goes with anything that has some kind of leadership, martial arts, teacher, student, master relationship, wherever someone's at the top and you're learning from them.
Yeah.
I think those people, and I lump in freaking things like what's the Tom Cruise cult?
Scientology.
Scientology, right?
Yeah, it's like the kind of the David Koresh, Charlie Manson.
Yeah, so those people are looking for community. Like, they're looking for friendship. They're looking. They're not there for some of those people aren't there for the martial art part, but they've found people that they feel like they are seen and valued and all those things. And I think those true manipulators of Ponzi schemes and all that are really good at identifying, going, and making those people feel like they are valued.
Yes.
And I think that's where it's like this comes back to what are your whys, right?
Yes.
And so then all these standards and things, because you and I would not be able to sit through if I went to a seminar or I was at somewhere, or if I was at a martial arts convention and there was some no touch master there, I am not going to be able to sit through a thing with him going, I need a demonstrator. I need someone to demonstrate. I am fucking hand in the air.
You're like,
me, please pick me.
I'm not taking no for an answer.
Please pick me. I insist everyone else sit down. I'm doing this. Because I want to, if that guy can knock me out with no touching, I'm signing up tomorrow. Not on the spot.
On the spot.
Here, how much money is it? This is it. I'm in.
My money.
Because I want that power. But it's how there's no fucking way. Even things like hypnotism and all that sort of stuff, right? Don't get me wrong. I think I to be really clear, know nothing about that. I don't know shit about the starting and how it works. But clearly some people, I would assume, are capable of being hypnotized and some people aren't. And that's as far as my knowledge goes on hypnotism. It's some people are susceptible to that happening to them. We had a magician one time come to a club that I was running and doing a thing, and he did hypnotism and all that sort of stuff. Couldn't do it on me. It's cool. I was cool with it. They're doing the pickpocketing stuff, right? And he's doing all the things, and I'm pretty body aware, and I kept catching his hands. I was like, stop it. He's trying to get my belt and my things, and I was like, fuck off. Now, that being said, we're in the moment of doing the things, and I'm like, we're having fun with it, but But it's I think all of that stuff is really, really relevant to.
Do you know what's interesting to say about the community? Because I think and we've talked about this previously with martial arts about why you're training, and be honest with why you're there. And if you are there just for shits and gigs and to have a good time, all good on you. Yeah, go for your life.
And that's what I think. I think there's a lot of martial arts schools out there that have tons of students that run really good businesses but teach shit martial arts. But if they've got a good community with good people who enjoy being there.
Actually, so I said the same, thinking similar thoughts. And I just to play devil's advocate, is it still? Do they still have an onus on the student to provide quality? So if we're going, hey, we want to grow a martial arts school, we're not going to pick any specific. It's just a martial arts school, and we're going to lower the standard to get allow as many people through the doors as possible. Your grading wasn't great, but I'm still going to promote you, and then now I'm going to put you. You're going to teach a class, so the people you're teaching are getting that lower standard, which is actually lower than what I have because I allowed you to grade under lesser standards. Yeah. Even though maybe the net positive is there of, hey, we've got a great community, everyone loves coming here, and we've got 1,000 people and we catch up once a year, whatever it is. is there still an onus? Because I'm taking your money under the guise of training in martial arts. Is there still an onus on the head instructor, whoever's running that operation, to have a higher standard?
I would say yes. I would say yes, is because also one of the things that sayings I always say about it, the standard. The standard you see is the standard you accept. So, like for example, right, running a business, if I want my place to be clean and the standards of my dojang to be clean, and I walk past a piece of paper on the floor.
Yeah, if you don't pick it up, you're accepting that standard.
I'm accepting that standard.
Yep, 100%.
And I guess that's the thing though. So, but it's like, and look, I think we do our very utmost best to try and keep the standards as high as possible. But that you're only as good as the team around you, right?
Yep.
Like as far as the people that are there. And I think what happens in a lot of martial arts schools, especially the ones that have been around a really long time, is the standards are high when the person that's the most passionate is still involved every day on the mats and teaching. And I think you can keep it like that because you know what I expect and what Scott expects when we're on the mats doing stuff.
Absolutely.
We've also come to realize that it's like at certain levels, like as beginners, we've got to lower the barrier to entry for beginners, because what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, especially running full-time school now, is that as long as they stick at it, we can correct it as they continue.
Absolutely.
But the standard does get higher and needs to increase to get better.
Yep.
And I think that's part of and that's a really hard conversation to have, especially with kids, especially with parents. But I think if you look here, standard setting. This is in that same vein. So I'm tangenting, but I'm not tangenting. When people turn up for first classes, especially parents with their kids, I'm always like, hey, please come in 15 minutes early so we can chat with you, answer questions, get you fitted for a uniform, all those sorts of things, so we can have your child settled, ready to go for class, especially if they're young kids. More than often, they come bang on 1 minute before, or they're actually late.
Yep.
And over the years, I've had to have hard, hey, you're late, you can't come in. Because it sets a standard of acceptance.
Yep.
And the reason I've learned that from the amount of times I've let them come in, the kid has a horrible experience because he's rushed, anxious, he's disruptive in class, the rest of the class suffers.
Yep.
Because we've got this 5 minutes of trying to get this person rushing them in to do a thing, right? And it does more harm than good. And what it also does is it sets the standard of how you as a parent need to interact with my business and the other students.
100%.
You're not just respecting my time, it's the other people who turned up on time.
Yep.
Because, and so I mean, so that's like setting a standard.
100%.
And I think it's the same with gradings. I think what happens is the moment you drop that barrier and you allow the standard to drop, the floodgates can open.
Yep.
And well, you let that kid through, so why can't my kid get through? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far
absolutely.
as gradings and that go.
Yeah.
And man, we failed 3 of our kids on the last grading that went through, because it was like, look, we were managing expectations with parents. We were talking to the kids, like they haven't trained enough. The parents were real. They just want to try the grading. I was like, okay, they can try, but the expectations were like, hey, the standards here, and they're just about here. They're not quite there. They've been away sick. They've been on holidays. They've all those sorts of things of like meeting the standards. And to their credit, I think one of them actually, when they turned on the day, like got through, like surprised the crap out of me. I was like, just didn't expect that. And I was like, well, now that I can see what you actually can do, you better get that. That's the other standard you've set for being in class.
Yeah. Awesome.
So it's one of those things. It kind of goes both ways like that. But then the others are like, hey, look, they're just not there. Took it really well and communicated back on mats, and they're training hard and doing the thing and improving already. So, but it's like, same, I failed jiu-jitsu students that wanted to test for just like stripes, and I'm like, you want to do the test, I'll let you do the test, but I'm telling you, you're not ready.
Yeah.
They do the test, they fail, and every time that's happened, they've come back and those students have improved dramatically.
Yeah.
And like they stand out as improvements over that next 6-12 months of training.
Yeah.
If you as a student can't handle that conversation, that's a you thing, not a me thing.
Yeah. Do you know what's really, just on that point, what's really interesting, and one of the great things, especially about team sports, is repeated exposure to failure over a long period of time. You grow up playing a team sport.
As I'm saying.
You win and you also lose.
Yeah.
And winning's awesome. Losing sucks.
Yeah.
And you might not even realize at first when, and especially kids, quite often they know the score, young kids, they forget about the game 4 minutes after it's happened.
Yeah, correct.
They're like, oh, we lost. Ice cream. Oh, let's go. And then, as you go on, like that repeated exposure to failure makes dealing with expectations and standards, in my opinion, a lot easier. When it's not just, I've never had any kind of failure. Well, because again, for the most part, most kids go through school is relative. As long as you show up and don't fuck around too much, you're going to pass for the most part throughout school. And even if you,
this guy,
and even if you every now and then you might fail a test, and you're like, oh, well, it's just about one off.
I'm pretty sure the staff meetings about me in school were like, he's a nice kid, just
just let it
go.
He's a good egg.
He's a good egg. Just get him through.
Let's just get him.
He brings the average down, but it's fine. He's not the Asian we hoped for, but it's the Asian we got.
He is the exception, not the rule.
But yeah.
But having repeated exposure to failure, which I think is great for kids to be able to go, you learn what losing feels like, that it sucks.
Not just losing. Like losing sucks, but not just losing, but understanding. I think one of the things that martial arts does overall for kids in general is shows them failure in a positive light, like in a positive, not that failing's okay, but that just meaning that, hey, if it didn't work this time, keep going. The adversity of not achieving, and then hopefully they learn to overcome the adversity, as opposed to those kids that melt down.
They go, fuck it, I'm done, I'm out.
Yeah, the kids that have meltdowns when they don't get their way, right? Like I've never understood it. Like I've just never, don't have any kids and all that, but I understand. But they're like, I can't, I know, of course I had temper tantrums as a kid. I was a kid, but I just can't think of a time in my mind where something didn't go my way and I just was like refusing to accept it. Like it was, of course I could be upset, disappointed, angry, sad, crying, whatever, but got over it. And
but you're also, it's not just kids these days. Like there's a lot of
grown-ass
grown-ass men and adults who behave the same way, where they refuse to accept that their worldview has been challenged.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you're not living in reality.
Like the guy who married his best friend, invisible best friend.
God bless his soul, Juniper.
Juniper.
It's
maybe we won't put a link to that one. I don't know.
I don't think there's anything inappropriate.
Well, it's also just not.
Probably not great. He's living the world best. Sorry, it's just a guy who has a make-believe wife.
The internet is a scary place, people.
It is a very scary place. Obviously, his standards are different to ours.
Whoa.
But they're very, very different. Very. But even it's also, I think...
His standards are non-existent. Sorry.
Well,
because his wife's...
Sorry, Jennifer. It took me a second to get that. That's
anyway.
Fantastic.
Anyway.
But
as Dion said, it's meeting a need.
Look, maybe. Maybe.
Fucking hell.
Anyway. I think it's a really interesting dynamic though with how people are, how they deal with failure.
Yeah.
How they view the world.
Sure.
And then what their standards are.
Yeah.
And again, I say this about dealing with, and this is probably not anyone within my own personal circle, because I tend to, over the years, have kind of filtered for idiots. I don't want to hang around. Yeah, exactly right. But people like I see people at the gym and I'm like, what are you doing, buddy? Like, what are you here for? And again, and you know what? Maybe they just need to get out of the house and go to the gym, and they're doing
be around people,
whatever they can.
Sure.
But at the same time, there seems to the standard just overall seems to be really fucking low.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we don't have to, like we said, we're not going to be Chris Bumsteads or David Goggins or whoever, Michael Jordans, whoever. We're not all elite athletes and performers.
Correct.
But there has to be a standard of actually holding yourself to a certain level and then wanting to gradually increase that over the course of your life.
But I think that comes, like, there are plenty of people in this world, right? You are not wrong. I agree with everything you're saying. There are plenty of people in this world are just really happy being workarounds. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say they're really happy. I just mean, but it's their lot in life, right?
So are they happy?
Yeah, you have to ask them.
I think there's a lot of people are legitimately lying to themselves.
I would agree. Yeah.
Because I look at where I am. I'm very grateful for the life I have.
Sure.
Beautiful wife, 2 kids. We're fortunate in a lot of ways.
Sure.
But I can also go, and this is what I said, 2 things can be true at the same time. I can look at that and go, I'm super grateful for where I am, but I can also want more. And I want to grow and expand in other ways and shrink in other ways and not get as fat and put on whatever. Like all those things can be true at the same time. But that's being grateful, but then also wanting more. I think people are lying to themselves when they go, I'm just happy, I work. I'm not going to name names, but I had a car accident. Not my fault, a while ago, and I had to. Oh, thanks, dude. It's very kind of you. See, this is the standard I accept. I expect, I should say. And accept.
You get what you're given, Cameron.
You'll take it. I had a car accident, and I went to a car hire rental place. And
Did he touch your mirrors?
No, do you know what? So when I got my car back, just a quick tangent. So you go and you set your map, and I use Apple CarPlay, and I go into the map, and I'm like, why is it pointing in the wrong direction? I'm like, what is going on? And it took me about a week, and this is on me because I went, that's fucked, and I kind of just worked with it, but it was always pointing north. And I realized this is the setting in your car settings. So when my car is being repaired, someone has gone in and changed the navigation settings to always pointing north. The car's in your workshop. What the?
That could have been a factory reset, Cameron.
It's not a factory reset because it's the factory. Anyway. Dig my fucking head in.
All right, sorry.
But sorry, getting back to...
So Cameron accepts the standards of his limitations of technological understanding.
Anyway, so I went to a car hire place, or like a car rental place, and I walked in, and it was the single most depressing work environment I've ever seen.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like the entire building was about the size of our couch. Yeah.
Wow.
And there was 3 desks in there, and everyone was just glum and moody. And I get, like, you're in a job where you're dealing with it's time pressure, and people are getting, they've either had an accident, they're hiring a car, or they're going somewhere, and no one's happy, and there's a scratch here, and you got to pay something. But it just seemed really
dull.
I'm like,
and horrible.
I would kill myself if I worked here. And I'm like, how? Like, I get it. Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe there's elements outside of your control. You've got responsibilities. You've got a mortgage and school fees or whatever it is. But how do you accept that standard for yourself and just not want to get out of it or improve your life in some way?
I 100% agree with you, but I think this is well beyond our ability to articulate. Or not articulate. I think we can articulate, because I would look at that sort of stuff and it's like so many things. As hard as I tried not to become my father, I became a fucking father in so many ways. Now, there's some of those things are really good, and some of those are like terrible. I was like, determined when I was married that I was going to have a good, successful marriage and not have fucking multiple marriages. And here I am. So like, so like it is what it is. But like, I think there's so many things that sometimes we just can't see beyond. Some people can't see beyond what they've seen around them, like the martial arts. If you've only
what you're exposed
to, right? So like, and let's use Zoolander as a good example, right? Derek Zoolander wanted to be a model.
Yep.
Wants to get out there and do the thing. And his family of miners, right? And he comes from a family of miners, and that's what they're supposed to do, and that's what the family does. And they got the black lung pup, You've been in the mines one day. Shut the fuck up. Like, we'll link it. Anyway, but you know what I mean? Like the that kind of family dynamics, right? Of like, obviously that's a movie, it's fictional or whatever, but is it though? But the you know,
but it's not a true story.
But family standards of what you're supposed to do. This is our lot in life, and that's what we.
That's just how we do it. That's what we do.
Oh, my father was a mechanic, so I've got to be a mechanic or a butcher or a teacher or doctor
whatever it is.
Whatever it is, right? If you grow up in a household that is far more affluent, you've grown up with as my father's a doctor or my mother's a doctor or like, mum's a doctor and dad's a Wall Street banker, you know, you're the things that you're going to be exposed to in your lifetime from the privilege that you've got from your family are going to be far different to those who are minimum waging
I get that, and I would say that would be now. Obviously, there's a lot at work, a lot at play in those scenarios.
Yeah. We're just steering way off standards.
But I think it is standard because I think that's very different today than
I
it
agree.
was.
Yeah, totally right.
If you were born in 1970, and your whole family, you live in a small country town, and you're all mechanics or whatever, then you're probably going to be a mechanic, and you're going to follow or you're whatever else.
Sorry, finish. Sorry.
No, that was it. Whereas today.
Well, when my mum, I've heard my mum say this a lot. It was like over the years, is she always felt like she was pretty good with her hands and that sort of stuff, and like she in another life or in a different standard of time, she probably would have liked to be like an engineer, or something in that space. But that's not what women did. What women did when she was growing up, you were a nurse, a teacher, nurse, teacher,
receptionist,
receptionist, homemaker.
Yep.
And that really, you're a woman, and that's all you're allocated to in that time frame. It's not my beliefs; it's just what it was at the time.
You were telling me off camera that you just women really.
Anyone
if you're not a teacher,
well, you still didn't
nurse,
make me a sandwich, Cameron, did you? So anyway. But anyone who's met my mother will know that is not even remotely close to being true. But at that time, so my mother became a teacher. Yeah. Right. And because they were the options presented to you in those times. Her mother was a nurse. Yep. I actually don't know why she didn't want to do that. My auntie, my mother's sister, became a nurse. Mother's a nurse. Yep. Father doctor. Mum became a teacher. And as I genuinely, I'm sure she might have wanted to be an engineer or something with her hands, but she's probably one of the best teachers that's ever existed. Yes. And a communicator and all those things because she's good at it. But that's what I mean. Like, so, like that's like what you're exposed to and the things that are around you are going to set the standard for what you believe you're capable of. And then there are, I think, outliers who free thinkers and those of them that dream, in spite of their circumstances, can dream far bigger than what their circle allots them to. I mean, like if you look, you don't have to like him, but like I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure like Elon Musk's beginnings are pretty humble, as far as in the early days, as a little kid, like comes from quite an abusive home and.
Do you know what? I don't know.
I listened to it. There's an interesting. Anna got me onto these. We were doing. There were. I've got to find the name for these. But it's like a podcast. It's not even a podcast. It's essentially a Who Am I storytell. And they're just telling this person's life story, and you don't know who they are until the very last second. Yeah, cool. And the Elon Musk one of that is very, very interesting. Okay. They've done the J.K. Rowling one, and they've done like a whole bunch of stuff, and you hear about all this, their life growing up. Okay, I will find out the name. Yep. We will link it in the thing because that was super interesting. But my point to that was,
in spite of
humble beginnings, quite large and huge, richest person in the world, right? Like,
super intelligent,
and all that sort of
innovative. And look, probably to bring it back to our initial focus on standards, I do think it's obviously, yes, you're a product of your environment to a certain extent, and that's going to shape you in many, many ways. But at some point, you have to take responsibility for your own
1000%
life and learnings and whatnot. And if we talk about, especially with martial arts, at some point you can obviously blame your teacher for a lot. That initial, hey, this is their standard and this is where we're at. But then you have to turn around and say, okay, the dim mak shit, like it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just force field blast you into the next room. This ninjutsu cloaking, we still need to do that. That'd be episode 100. We're just going to smoke bomb and disappear.
Oh my god, the dream.
It's the dream.
It's the dream.
At some point, you have to set your own. Because again, no, look, and this is the thing. The one thing I will agree with. I'm not sure if it was Goggins or someone. Like, no one's coming to save you.
Yeah.
You are like at some point you got to stand on your own.
Who's going to carry the boats, Joe?
I mean, it's just he's one of the most meme-worthy people going around.
100%. No, I think you're 100% true, and I think 100% correct. Sorry, and I think you at a certain point, especially if we're talking about your own health.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Your health. Your martial arts. Your learning. The things that are going to make you better. You have to set the standards for.
Look,
right?
can I say, as far as health goes, the amount of people I know does my fucking head in. And it's mainly middle-aged people in general get to a point where they're like, oh, this hurts or that hurts or I can't do this or I've got this. Oh, but I've family history of blood pressure. I'm like, okay, great, but what are you doing about it to make it better? Like, what are you just gonna? Okay, yeah, you can take a tablet for the rest of your life. Awesome, but what are you still eating the same way and you're not moving and you're sitting on your couch all day? Like, what are you doing about it? What's your standard that you're going to hold yourself to, or you're just accepting? Because also that's the thing of if you don't set your own standard, you'll just adhere to other people's standards, and that's like standards could be fucking anything.
Look in the mirror, and the standard you see is the standard you accept.
Yep, exactly right. And that's the thing. And I should say, you don't have the standard you see. You don't have to accept it. You can look in the mirror and go, well, it. I'm a product of the last 12 months of whatever I've done.
Sure.
Food and movement wise. That, if you fast forward 12 months, you'll be a product of that most recent 12 months. You can change so much about yourself totally. in so many areas.
But that's the thing, there's so many things that go on within that because so many people would listen to this and go, oh, well, that's easy for you to say. You're already fit, Can I say? And this is the thing, though.
So, fuck you all. This is the same as... No, I'm kidding. But this is also the same. You're already fit, or you're already this. You're lucky you're fit. Am I? Or have I just trained maybe nearly every day for 40 years?
You'd think you'd be fitter. You should be very disappointed in your 40 years right now.
Do you know what, though? You're right. No, I'm kidding. But it's you think like you're...
What's the saying? People are always jealous of the results, but not jealous of the
work. Yeah, and that's the thing where people are like, oh, you're lucky you're fit because of this. I'm like, it's not luck. It's not always intentional. When I was 5 years old, I didn't go, hey, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to train.
I'm going to punish myself.
And just fucking do it. No, I was just like, hey, I started playing basketball and I enjoyed that. And then I did more of it. And then I added things to it. But it was an intentional choice at one point where I went, oh, I don't like being weak and my shit hurts. Like my ankles hurt, my back hurts. What am I going to do to fix that? Oh, my knees hurt. What do I need to do to fix that? Oh, I'm 10 kilos overweight. What do I need to do to fix that? Like, it's setting a standard for yourself and going, I'm refusing to accept where I currently am. Like, yeah, I'm refusing to accept that standard and I'm going to set a new standard and I'm going to work towards it.
Yeah.
It's the same. I could talk, you look at people and go, oh, you're lucky you're rich. You're like, they're like, am I? I work 80 hours a week and do this, this and this, which you don't have to do it. But if you want to be in the same position, maybe you could learn some things and set yourself a higher standard.
Yeah, it's.
Do you know, you're lucky you're a black belt and you know all the techniques that you know.
You know what? In the start, I probably was lucky that I was a black belt, in the early days. I think I've earned it now, but I'm not done. I'm never done. I'm never going to be done. That's the thing.
But that's all. That's also the thing. Nothing's ever done.
No,
really, is it? Like if you were done, the standard ceases to exist.
Yeah.
Then you go back to where you.
I think I'd quit. I think I'd just quit. If I was done, I'd actually be done.
But
Like, I'd never get a step
you
back
can
on
never
that.
be done.
That's my point, though. It's like that's
Is
what I'm
it?
getting at. You know, you can't. Not in martial arts in general. You can. There's always something you don't know.
But even like I think I do. Like I honestly think it is like that. You stop swimming, you die.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Like if you're not, and again, you can. I'm not saying you don't have to. Like this, I want to make it like abundantly clear. Obviously, like I said, we're not perfect, and you don't have to be fucking David Goggins or whoever. Like insert the name of the most recent productivity guru who's out there. I'm not saying you have to do that, but you have to live your life. You're living your life to a standard.
You need to have the standard.
But you're living your life. No matter what you do, you're currently living to a standard. And then you've got to look in the mirror and say, is that standard helping me or hindering me?
Yeah.
And maybe if it's hindering, you need to readdress the standard and set something that you feel would be helpful to you.
Well, I think it's like trying to increase your weight limits when you're lifting, right? You start small.
Yep.
You do that repeatedly till it feels comfortable.
Yep.
Then that's your standard.
That's it.
Then it goes up.
Yep.
Right? And then we add more weight. And then you do that till it's comfortable. And then it goes up.
And so the way you get stronger is, most people think that you get stronger by lifting more weight, which theoretically, like potato, but you actually...
I think you mean tomato. But yeah.
Potato.
No, potato is always potato. No one says potato.
I say potato a lot.
It's because you're a tard. Standards here, not good in the English.
Excellent in English, just not in the last 4 minutes. No, but you actually get stronger by your body adapting to the weight.
Correct.
So the weight so it's not like lifting the heavier weights isn't the key. It's your body adapting to that. And the same thing goes with the standard. Like
and that's
the
standard
consistency.
of life, right?
That's it. Your body and your person adapts to the new. And
Who
then
you are.
it just becomes standard.
And that becomes the norm. Yep. And that becomes your standard.
That becomes your standard. And then you go, oh, this is great.
I'm capable of this. Now I can add more.
Now I can add more. And again, I can add more if I want to, or if I feel like I need to raise the standard.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably a good spot. I think that's probably a good spot to call it, because I think that's the overarching, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's regardless of what you're doing. You know, we've been talking about language recently and like trying to bring more of that into our lives and learning more and all those sort of things. And I think the standard I have to set, because I'm thinking about that going, I've tried a few times and I've failed because I haven't been consistent and because I'm accepting a standard of what I'm capable of.
Yes.
And so for me, I'm going to go, cool, well, this is the next thing I'm trying one of the things I want to get across. I would like to get across and improve.
Are we putting it out there in the universe?
Oh, we're really going to do that now?
I mean, why not?
Oh, fuck it, all right. Well, now it's on. We're going to try it. All right, we're going to keep us accountable.
I love this. I love this is good. Again, for me, just what I'm doing
excited.
now, this is good energy for me.
It is.
And this is also good setting a standard and and again, helpful.
Yeah, totally helpful. That's what I mean. So we're going to try and commit. We are committing. We are committing. Cameron's off to overseas for a little bit in Vietnam and then Hong Kong. And when we're chatting about that, Cameron, if you didn't know, has already been studying Mandarin for a little while.
我会说一点中文.
Bless you. So he's been studying Mandarin for a bit, and he's getting pretty good. I don't speak any Mandarin, just to be really clear. But the point is, Cantonese is something we were chatting about, and so we're both going to commit to the next 6 months of practicing Cantonese so that Cameron can learn a few things and be comfortable as comfortable as possible in Hong Kong. And then when he gets back, we'll reassess where are we at, and then we'll hopefully keep going. I've wanted to do Cantonese for a really, really long time. I can order some food. That's about all I got. And then and I can count, and that's about it. So anyway, that's the thing we're putting out. And so we're putting that in the universe. Keep ourselves accountable.
Put it out in the universe.
Because we've also got the stretch goals that we made accountable in one of the last episodes that came up.
Yep.
That aired. So we've got our stretch goals and getting our Fandam splits again by the end of this year, and
Absolutely.
we've got our language goals are what we're trying to get to for those.
Okay,
so we're putting that out there now.
We are putting it out there.
On the record.
Out there in the universe.
Haven't even told Anna yet, so there you go, babes.
Anna.
You're on board too, brother. I'm lumping you in with this.
I don't know how to say hello in Cantonese yet.
Le
ho.
Leho's like are you good?
Leho,
Like yeah, good. It's kind of a hello, but yeah.
Ngoy.
Thank you.
Yep. So we know a little bit.
Well, my sister always made fun of me when I was little because I would say Magoy when I was a little kid. She still says it to me. She goes Magoy, and I go
Magoy.
fuck you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's cute.
Magoy. Anyway, sorry.
That's good. So
Anyway,
that's
speaking of
another
which-
standard.
Okay, thank you. Setting standards. Thank you, guys. We'll
Thanks
see you
for
again
watching
next
and
time, all right?
listening.
Speak soon.
Bye-bye.